What is up, guys? It is live. We are live. It is Sunday night. Sunday night live. We've got a few people in the chat already. We've got Big T's in the chat. What's up, man? We've got some guy called Savage Zombie Reviews. We won't deal with him. He's a weirdo. Forget him. We got Sean in the chat. What's up, Sean? We got Dan in the chat. What's up, Dan? Anthony's in the chat. Hopefully there'll be a few more people jumping on soon. I didn't really plug this stream too much because I wasn't entirely sure whether this was going to go ahead. So it was kind of like I did schedule it like last week, but I wasn't entirely sure whether it was going to go ahead just because of just various things going on. But yeah, it's all good. So yeah, I usually plug these things on Twitter, 3-4 hours beforehand, and literally just put a tweet out about 10 minutes ago. So if there's not the same crowd that there usually is, then it's understandable. But it's all good, It's 20-12 in the UK, so 20-7 in the US Eastern Standard. So good time to be streaming. But I've got a special guest tonight. He's not that special, to be fair. He's been on the channel enough times now. He's almost as he's bordering on JT level of familiarity. So he's that unspecial. But it's Dave from Savage Zombie Reviews. What's up, man?
I'm all right, mate. I'll never be as special as JT.
JT's the least special guest on the channel because he's here every fucking week. But yeah, JT's busy this week. He's busy tonight. He's got his daughter with him, so it's all understandable. So JT, if you're watching, man, it's all good. So what's up, man? You just hit 550 subscribers, haven't you, man?
Yeah, today, mate. Yeah, I can't believe it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's great, man. Like I said, like when I first started, I never thought I'd even hit 50 subscribers. So to get to 550 is just, yeah, incredible.
I mean, well deserved as well, because there's a lot of people in the sort of the community now, which is like getting wider and wider as well. The people who I was kind of aware of when I started the channel. There's so many more people now who I'm like kind of following and watching their videos. Almost to the point now where I spend most of my time watching YouTube videos instead of watching fucking movies.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? I'm the same. Yeah.
We've got Jay's in the chat. I know Jay from Gareth's channel. So if Jay's probably come on to my channel from either you or Gareth. So what's up, Jay? Yeah, Gareth's introduced me to so many fucking channels, man. Jesus Christ. Every night he's with somebody new, and I'm like, okay, check that guy out, check that guy out, check that guy out. But yeah, it's crazy, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
We've got Dan in the chat as well. There are a couple of things I did want to discuss tonight. Scream 6 being the main one. But we won't get. Well, we'll build up to that. Let's just talk about current things. So, have you watched anything good recently?
Do you know? No, I haven't actually.
Have you watched anything recently? I don't mean anything good. Okay, just have you watched anything recently? Which if it was shit, it was shit.
Well, weirdly enough, as I was just like potting around the flat today, I stuck on, is it Scare Package? It's on Shudder, the first one.
I've not seen either. I know there's two of them. I've not seen either. I know they've got a lot of love amongst the...
Yeah, I wasn't really feeling it, mate. But to be fair, I need to sit down and like actually watch it because it was just on in the background and I was catching it a little bit, but then going off and doing other things. So I can't really sit there and say whether it's good or bad or not because it'd be unfair.
Yeah, but the reviews aren't particularly kind online, but it seems to have a lot of love.
Yeah,
amongst people. But the reviews online on, I think on IMDb, it's got like a 4.7. Which isn't great, to be fair. It's like, anything under 5 on IMDb, and I'm kind of like, it's like, I trust IMDb way more than Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, at the moment.
That fucking site has just lost, that site's lost all legitimacy.
Hasn't it?
It really has.
Hasn't it?
It's like, whatever they think, it's like the public think the opposite.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to sit down and give it another go. But from what I was seeing of it, it wasn't really. uh, It didn't look very good to me. I have to be honest.
Yeah. Is it one of those sort of like creep show types where it's like different stories packaged together, where like with an overlapping sort of story
Yeah,
that brings it all together?
that's pretty much what it is, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's extremely low budget as well. But
Okay.
and some of the effects that I saw actually looked quite good in that, and there was some parts that I did actually quite laugh in because it's a bit of like a comedy horror one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just wasn't paying that much attention to it. I don't even know why I stuck it on, to be honest with you. Just have something on in the background, you know.
It's one of them, isn't it? It's with a lot of these movies, you can, if you're not fully invested, you put the film on, and then you get your phone out,
Yeah,
you start playing phone, and if something hooks you in, then the phone goes down, phone goes off in some cases, and you just zoned in on the movie.
yeah,
But majority of films, to be fair, it's kind of like it's background music to the
yeah.
point where you just think, well, I'll just okay, that's happened, this has happened. I'm not really. Skinamarink was a case in point. Fucking dog shit me. I don't care what people say. I don't care. Oh, stick around for the ending. Look, fuck off.
No,
I would
no.
rather watch paint dry than watch that piece of shit.
It was
I think
watching paint
I
dry.
think we did talk about this a week or two ago, but
Yeah. Oh,
I-
it's so bad. Like it is so bad. Like I say, like we always say this, you know, movies are subjective, you know. And if you enjoyed Skinamarink, I mean, that's cool. I'm glad you got enjoyment out of it. But I don't see it, Mike. I
no,
just
I
don't
don't.
understand it. If I want to watch the corner of a couch or corner of a room for an hour and 40 minutes, I'll just stare in my own front room. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It did nothing
to
for
me
me at all.
this is the movie equivalent of like that sort of like modern art where what's that modern art where somebody put a cow in formaldehyde? Is it Damien Hirst?
Pardon me.
Just took a cow, put it in formaldehyde, and people swarm to the museum to look at it and go, "Oh, this is amazing." I'm like, if I could have done that, it ain't fucking good because I'm fucking stupid. I could have made that fucking movie.
Yeah,
I could have made that fucking movie, man.
I think
Could I
anybody
have
could have,
made
mate.
could I have made Lord of the Rings? No. Could
Mm.
I have made Halloween? Fucking no. Could I have made Skinamarink? I would have had a fucking good attempt at doing that. And I think it wouldn't have been much worse, to be fair.
We could have made it on 20 quid.
Yeah. I know, yeah. Where did the money go? What's
Oh,
it?
I don't know.
$15,000? Where was the other 14,000?
They must have had a good catering. But
Hell.
yeah, I even said it in my review though. I think if they would have done it from the point of view of the kids for the movie, like you would have followed the kids around. So basically the camera was the children walking
Yeah.
around the house. I think it probably would have been a bit more interesting because at least you're moving around a little bit, you know. But it just bombed hard for me. It really did. Yeah. I don't get how how certain people enjoy it. I don't understand. I really don't.
I actually think though this is the sort of film where there'll be like artsy farty type of like movie critics who will be suckered in by it and will praise it because they believe it's so artsy farty that if they slate it, they worried they may end up looking stupid and going, "Oh, did you not get the references? Did you not get the pretext, like the undercurrents of the story?" So they kind of go, "Oh yeah, oh this is a take on this. This is a take on that. This is a very important piece of work." And then the director just go. Imagine the director just turns around and goes, "You what? No, I was just taking the piss, mate. I just put a fucking like a camera around the house for like a couple of days, and I fooled all of you."
I was just filming Legos for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god. I noticed Sean's brought up House on Haunted Hill. I'm not going to be allowed to forget that, am I? I clipped that, but did you see? Did you see? I clipped it and put it in the community tab.
Yeah, I shared it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the reaction of Alexei was like, okay, and then you're like, I thought it was fucking shit, mate. I was like,
The best one of that for me was when I got to me number one and I jokingly said Jason Goes to Hell, and I just looked at his face in the corner and he was being so polite.
yeah.
And it was like,
I
no,
knew
mate,
you were
you're all right.
joking. I knew you were joking.
That would probably be someone's number one, though.
Just trying to look. What have I watched in the last couple of weeks? Because I've watched fuck all recently. I've really been lazy, but I did
Exactly the
watch.
same, mate.
I did watch a really good film tonight called Berlin Syndrome from
Oh,
2017. It's like it's Aussie funded, but it's set in
mm,
Berlin, hence the name.
yeah,
But it's kind of like a take on girl gets. It's not really spoilery, but I think people know going in what they're going to get. But you know, girl meets guy, guy's a bit fucked up, locks her up, she can't get out, and it's like take on that whole Stockholm syndrome. You know, the whole Stockholm syndrome saying you get an
yeah.
affinity for like the kidnapper, but it's set in Berlin, so it's called Berlin Syndrome. Really good. I mean, it's nearly 2 hours long as well, and if a 2 hour movie can hold my attention for like the duration, then you've done a good job.
It's doing well, yeah.
Yeah. So Berlin Syndrome, definitely. If you've not checked it out, people in the chat, go and check it out. Really, really good film. Bit similar to. I don't know if anybody's seen. I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen Watcher with Michael Monroe? It's on Shudder. Came out last year.
All right, no, I haven't, mate. No.
Yeah, but it's sort of like, it's a girl in a foreign country, not used to the, what's going on and all that, and it's got a similar vibe to Watcher, but yeah, I mean, Watcher again, another movie. If you got Shudder, right?
I've got Shudder, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be on. I don't know if it's I haven't said that. I don't know whether it's exclusive to Shudder. Dan will probably correct me on that. If it's either on Shudder or it was on Shudder. I was under the impression that it was exclusive to Shudder. So
right.
it's definitely. I know. I don't know. I know the search engine on Shudder. I know Shudder's not great for recommending everything. It's at least these streaming services, man. The search engine's fucking dire.
Yeah,
Like,
it is, mate. Yeah.
They just need to get whoever runs the YouTube search engine just needs to go and work on all the streaming services, because YouTube is just on point when it comes to recommending shit.
I did. Well, when we
For
discussed
some,
about watching movies, I did watch one on Friday night, actually, and I just completely forgot until I've just remembered it just now. That's how forgettable it is. It was on Netflix, and I forgot the name of it, and I'll try and find it now. But it was about a kid who's, I think he's like a bit of a mute, but it's like an entity in his phone, and it wants to be his
hang
friend or
on.
something.
Whoa, I've seen that movie. I saw that movie a few weeks ago. Hang on. I've got it saved because everything I watch on IMDb, I give a mark out of 10.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
trying to
I
find
know,
it.
I know. Film you mean? It's
Come play. It's called Come
yeah,
to Play. Yeah,
Come Play. Yeah.
yeah.
It's not bad.
It's I.
I
Yeah.
don't. Okay, it's another
It's a
House
House
on
on Haunted.
Haunted Hill. It's not a House on Haunted Hill.
No, mate. It
It
wasn't.
it wasn't terrible.
It was. Yeah. It passed like an hour and a half. But like I said, as soon as it finished, mate, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
I literally forgot that I watched it on
That is
Friday.
like 90% of movies, though, for me. To be fair, I mean, I didn't pay for it, so who fucking cares?
Yeah, I always think the mistake they make in these movies was it probably would have been better if you actually didn't see the entity at all. Like if you
Yeah.
don't see it, just leave it to your own imagination what it is. It's a lot more terrifying. And then, but when that thing finally comes along, I just thought it looked stupid. Like I really did. It reminded me of when you see the Blair Witch very briefly in the last one that they did, where they had like the long arms and the long legs and stuff. It just looked daft.
Yeah, I actually deleted that movie from my memory, so I don't remember much about Blair Witch because that film was fucking awful. I've seen some people claim that the Blair Witch is better than the Blair Witch Project. I'm like,
no. I don't dislike.
I know it's subjective, but
yeah,
you're fucking wrong.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there, mate. I don't dislike it as much as you do. I thought it was okay at best. When I watched it, but I've only watched it the once, and I thought that's enough. I'll never need to go back and rewatch that at all.
Watch It is on Shudder, apparently. Cheers, Dan. So yeah, definitely check that one out.
Yeah, I'll
It's
give
got
it a go.
Micah. It's got Micah Monroe from It Follows. So
Okay, yeah,
and she's also obviously she's in The Guest.
yeah, she's good here. I like it.
Oh yeah, she's kind of like almost. I wouldn't say she's a screen queen because she's. It's not like she's done multiple horror films over a short period.
Yeah,
So, but I mean, yeah, she's done It Follows and The Guest, which are two of my
yeah.
favorite films
The
of the
guest is
2010s.
The Guest is
Yeah, it's
absolutely amazing, man. I
brilliant.
love that movie, and it
It is.
surprised me as well when I first watched it. I didn't know what to expect, and it's yeah, you're right. It's probably one of my favorite movies
Yeah,
ever.
Dan Stevens is just like
Oh, he's
so good now.
so cool in it, and
I don't know where he's fucking gone. He's done like because he started out in Downton Abbey.
yeah, I never
Um,
watched that. Weirdly enough,
no, I didn't. But he
no,
lost a lot of weight because in
he did.
Downton
Yeah,
Abbey he was kind of like a bit chubby and like he when he did The Guest, I think he appeared on like one of those chat shows like the Graham Norton show or
mm.
Alan Carr. And, like he was on that, and I was like, I didn't know who the guy was, and like he came on, and my missus was like, "Who's that?" And she's like, "He's fucking gorgeous," and I'm like, "I don't fucking know who he is. I have no idea." And then it was like about 6 months later, then The Guest came out. It was like, that's the fucking
Oh,
guy that
there
my
he
missus
is.
has got a big crush on. So yeah,
Wasn't he
but
like in Beauty and the Beast or something like that as well? Wasn't he? So
yeah, he
he's
was.
popped up somewhere, like,
Yeah,
and I think he was in that Walk Amongst the Tombstones as well with
he was
Liam
also
Neeson
he
or
was
something.
also he also had a small role in this. Oh my god, what's that movie? Like, is it Humongous or something? Where like the girl is like whatever she does plays out in Japan as a giant monster. A bizarre movie.
Oh, yeah,
Doesn't
it
make
kind of
any
rings a bell.
doesn't make a lick of sense. The film, like, but
Yeah,
he's in
that
that as
rings a
well.
bell. Right,
Yeah,
okay. It rings
I
a bell,
can't.
but I've not seen it.
But yeah, like Dan says, he hasn't broken out like expected. Yeah, he should definitely be a bigger star, man. I mean, I would have
Yeah.
liked to have seen him as James. Maybe I don't know if he's a bit small for James Bond. I don't know how if he's quite short
I'll tell you what,
because
he's not a bad shout for it, to be honest with
yeah,
you. I wouldn't be too disappointed if he ended up as the next one.
I just don't know. A lot of these movie stars are a lot shorter than what you realize in real life. And
It's
if
very
he's like
true.
if he's like 5'8", then that could be an issue.
They could make him look
'Cause
6'1", though.
well, I
Look,
mean,
look what they did with Tom Cruise.
they've been doing that with Tom Cruise for fucking
Exactly.
the longest time. But oh, he's going to be in the. Anthony says he's going to be in the Kong versus Godzilla sequel.
Right, okay. Fair enough.
I've lost track of that franchise now. So I've watched every film in this franchise, but so what was the last film? Was it?
I think it was Kong versus Godzilla was the last one, wasn't it?
We've had Kong, we had Skull Island, we've had
Yeah, I enjoyed
Godzilla,
Skull Island.
we've had Godzilla King. Is that so? Have we had 3 movies in that franchise?
Yes.
Okay. I think 2014 Godzilla is the best film of that bunch
I agree.
by a long way.
Yeah.
I think that film is a fucking great film. Skull
Yeah,
Island is okay. The last film for me was it was just it didn't do it for me at all.
Yeah, I prefer the 2014 Godzilla one. I like the way they built the tension towards when you finally see Godzilla. And a lot of people were complaining about that you don't really see Godzilla that much, but I thought it pays off.
It does.
It's the anticipation of seeing him, you know?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston's in that movie as well.
Oh,
and
he's so good in that film.
You know, they build up, they build up, but they build it up.
Yeah.
You know, because they build up you see the other one first.
Yeah.
The other whatever, I can't remember. I'm not a big Godzilla guy, but
No,
whatever the other monster is, that escapes, and you see that
Yeah.
first, and then the build up for Godzilla is
It's so good.
But
I loved it, and I did like it. I thought Skull Island was a lot of fun.
Dan says, I don't want another James Bond if they don't let the character be authentic. Well, you're going to be disappointed, Dan, because the next James Bond is either going to be crying like a little bitch all the time,
or Sam Smith,
or or it's going to be a woman. So, yeah, you're not going to get your authentic James Bond ever again.
We're not going to get James Bond the way he should be. That's gone.
No, they've said that the next James Bond needs to be more in touch with his feminine side.
Yeah, which
more
makes
sensitive,
no sense.
Which doesn't make any fucking sense.
He's an
whatsoever.
assassin. He's a killer.
It's just they don't get it.
No,
they don't get it, and it's bizarre that at this point do they not want to make money? I don't honestly understand the logic.
No,
They
just to,
don't want to make money.
yeah,
That's the only thing I can. They'd rather virtue signal to a
yeah,
tiny percent of the population
just to please a minority, mate. That's all it is. But
and not make money, which is just insane.
unfortunately, the minority are the loudest.
They're the
It's
loudest, yeah.
so
Hell, they're the loudest.
yeah.
That's why we can't allow this shit to get into the horror community. That's why it's important. That's
I
why I shout. That's why I always say it every time I get on this subject. I always say, the more people who call out this shit, it's important. It's like the horror community. Can you imagine Terrifier 3? A woke Terrifier 3? How's that going to play out?
Leave it
Do you know what I
alone.
mean?
Yeah, it's like somebody. It's like some. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't know. So they all could be right, but I haven't seen the. Oh, sorry, I haven't. Have you seen the reviews for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
I've not.
Some
No.
of it is. Some of them are so over the top, man. It's
Is it meant to be? Is it meant to be? I honestly, I don't understand what the whole, because Winnie the Pooh for me is like, how did they manage to use Winnie the Pooh in a horror film anyway? Because the owners of Winnie the Pooh, like, how did they allow that name to be used in a horror film anyway? I don't really understand. It seems a bit of a weird one.
I think in January last year it just became public domain, Winnie the Pooh.
Okay,
so anyone could. So Disney it was at Disney, and then all of a sudden, that was it. January, anyone could do anything with it, and then that's how we've got this horror movie that's just come out.
Is it meant to be good, or is it? I've heard like mixed reports.
It's Winnie the Pooh in a horror movie.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It's not in a cinema where I am, so
no. It's going to say
unfortunately. I haven't seen it, but I've watched some of the reviews, man, and they're scathing. I mean, really scathing. But Alexi loves it, and JT loves it.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking to myself, I actually think I'm going to enjoy this because I'm not going in expecting like an A24 horror movie or whatever.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's a Winnie the Pooh and Piglet butchering young girls. Just have fun with it. As much as you can, basically, you know what I mean. If it's just fun and it's a decent little slasher and there's good kills, I'll be happy with it. I just think some of the reviews have just gone really, really over the top with it.
Yeah, a lot of time now, if the mainstream media now, a lot of time, if the mainstream media criticizing a film, I am automatically invested in that film. If the fucking Guardian are criticizing it, then I'll be like, this is going to be fucking good because they hate anything which is like controversial. Yeah. So
I mean, all these negative reviews have just made me want to watch it more and more. I was already excited to see it anyway.
Yeah,
but I might watch it and then do my own review and do the same. Who knows?
Is it even in cinemas in the UK or is it just?
Yeah, I believe so, mate. Yeah.
I've just seen nothing. I mean, I don't really keep up with like current cinema releases. I mean, I'm meant to be going to see Quantum Mania tomorrow, only because my boy wants. I say my boy, he's like 19.
Yeah.
But he wants to go and watch it, and it's kind of like a tradition. Like we go and watch Marvel movies together, and it's meant to be shit. But
so believe you.
That's more about the tradition of going to watch a Marvel movie with him.
That's a different thing. That's like a Rotten Tomato thing as well. I've noticed. So the critics have like smashed it, but the audiences are enjoying it. The majority, anyway, from what I see.
And with a few of the previous Marvel films, like what's that fucking one with that? The one which is the Eternals, is it? Which is meant to be dog shit. The critics love that. Critics will love that, and the audience was like, "No, this is shit."
I think that was. Sorry, mate. I think that was the one movie where I just started to completely lose interest in it.
I've not watched it. I have no intention of watching that. I don't know. To me, Marvel's dead now. I'll go and watch Quantum Mania because it's not my choice. My lad wants to go and watch it.
Yeah,
I'll go and watch it. But I mean, apparently, for this new Quantum Mania movie, you're meant to have seen, or I don't know if it's the entire film or the end credit scene. You're meant to have seen like the Loki TV show. I don't fucking watch the TV show.
Exactly. This is the problem.
They're fucking shite.
Yeah, this is the problem with it now, Mike. Is in it. There's too much of it. You know what
It's
I
like
mean?
it's like homework.
Yeah.
I want to go and watch Quantum. Yeah, have you done your revision on the TV shows? No. Oh well, you're not going to get a pass on this one then. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's true, mate. I started to. I think just after Endgame, they just hit such a high with that I just think it was impossible for them to kind of recapture that magic after it. You know,
the whole this phase that they call it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 1. It's not fucking. I've said this before. It's not phase 4. It's not phase 5 now. It was phase 1 was everything up to Endgame, and this is phase 2. And phase 2 is shit. That's it. It's just shit. Phase 1, as of what I just look at as phase 1, was everything building up to Endgame.
Yeah.
You bring in these people like Iron Man, who was who the fuck knew who Iron Man was in 2000? No. Nobody fucking knew who Iron Man was. He was a nobody. They had to use these. They didn't have the Spider-Man rights, so they had to start with someone. They didn't. Batman and Superman is obviously DC. They had to start off. Who do we start off with? We've got Iron Man. Nobody knows who Iron Man is.
No.
They had to use a character, lesser known character. But because he's lesser known, they had to make it sure it was a damn good fucking plot.
Yeah.
A damn good plot. Captain America is not A tier. Not back in them days. He wasn't
no.
A tier. He was not A tier superhero.
None of them
Majority
was, really.
of people. No, there was not. Spider-Man was the only one they had, and they didn't get him until like 2015, 2016.
Maybe the Hulk.
So they had to, Hulk, but he's still B tier.
Yeah,
I always base it. I always use like parents, sort of as a gauge. If I said to my mum and dad, they showed pictures of like Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, they'd know who they are. Yeah. If I showed them a picture of the Hulk, they'd be like, I'm not entirely sure.
What's wrong with him?
If I showed them Iron Man, they'd be like, ain't got a clue who that is.
Yeah.
So you base it on that. That's what I base it on. So
yeah.
Okay, they had Hulk, but Iron Man, Captain America was nothing at that time. Not in the I can't speak for America, but in the UK, nobody fucking knew Captain America was not really. They knew they knew the name, but they didn't really know any of the lore.
Yeah. Unless you were really into your comic books and that, and outside of that, you weren't that sure.
And as for 4, fuck off. 4? Nobody knew 4 was. Guardians of the Galaxy, which is fucking the best film of the early films. Nobody knew. I had no idea who those people were. No idea. And that movie was a fucking blast.
It's fantastic.
It's fucking brilliant, man.
It really is great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to I must admit, as much as I've gone off the Marvel train, I will be going to watch Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. I won't miss that one. Because I do like them. But after Endgame, mate, I watched Spider-Man No Way Home. Really enjoyed that. Got to be honest. But the other ones after it, mate, it just I don't know.
It was self-contained. Everything like building up to Infinity War was a lot of self-contained films with just a hint of something bigger.
Yeah.
With like Thanos in the background in some of the end scenes.
Yeah.
But once you've gone Endgame, it's kind of hard to top that. And I think the mistake they made is they were trying to look for the next big sort of like conflict immediately.
Yeah.
Because they've gone that big. Well, you've got to go back to, Iron Man level and just have small self-contained stories. But you're immediately trying to go with these like, the Eternals. These people are like more important than Thanos. Like, well, we've just got over Thanos. We thought he was like this big bad guy, and now you're saying, these guys are like way more big. And I'm like, well, we don't even know who these people are. You've thrown in like 5, 6, 7 people into this franchise. Nobody knows who they are. Nobody gives a flying fuck who these people are.
Yeah.
And you expect us to go and like put down our hard-earned money to watch these boring motherfuckers. Like,
yeah. And I must admit as well, man, I didn't like the way they were tying in the TV shows with them as well. Like, because I don't have time to watch all these freaking Lokis and Falcon and Winter Soldiers and bloody Hawkeye, and I barely have time to watch a movie sometimes. As stupid as it sounds,
It's Disney Plus. It's Disney Plus. trying to get their money's worth from
Yeah.
that Disney Plus streaming service. They want you to be watching watching the TV
Yeah.
shows, so you watch the movies and vice versa.
Honestly, mate, I would much rather that Netflix would manage to have kept like Daredevil and Punisher, and they would have kept them shows going, because you could have watched them, but they had nothing to do with the movies. It was set in the same world, but they weren't connected
Yeah.
like at all. So you didn't have to watch the Daredevil series to know what was going to happen in the next bloody whatever the next Marvel movie was, you know. And I really enjoyed them Netflix shows. I thought they were fantastic. And then Disney took that away from us, and now they're doing a new Daredevil show, and I've just got zero interest in it because I know it's not going to be anything like what Netflix did. So why should I bother watching it?
We've got Sophie in the chat. What's up, Sophie?
Hello, Sophie.
I've not seen the whole of Endgame, only the end of Endgame.
That's all you really need to see.
Sean says best Marvel movies were Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War. I do
they're up there. I agree.
The
Civil War, I always thought if it was like an Avengers 2.0 movie, really, wasn't it? Or 2.5
it was definitely it was basically an Avengers movie, but with the Captain America name on it. But it definitely felt. I mean, was that the introduction of Ant-Man, or had he had his film? Was it Spider-Man's introduction?
It was Spider-Man, mate. Yeah, Ant-Man had already come out.
Yeah, he'd had his film, hadn't he? But
yeah.
Yeah, Anthony says Guardians 3 is the only Marvel film I'm excited for.
I agree, Anthony.
I gave up trying to follow the timeline when Marvel introduced all the TV shows.
Same, mate. Same.
Hulk is my favourite Avenger. Okay, so we've covered that. Let's just get into the whole Scream 6 thing, which was the purpose of the stream tonight. Yeah. So apparently a lot of shit's leaked online, on Twitter.
I believe so, yeah.
I believe it's actually, is it actual footage of the ending, or is it just text? Because I've avoided everything, but I'm trying to avoid everything to do with it.
I think it's definitely something visual. I'm not sure whether it's a clip that's leaked at the movie, or it's a picture, or pictures, should we say. I'm lucky enough, mate, I haven't come across any of it, so I don't know.
No,
and I don't want to come across any of it. I've avoided it like the plague, mate. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But do you know how these leaks, how they've come about or anything? Or
I can only assume that the film's obviously played. It's obviously played to somebody. It'd have to, right? I mean,
yeah.
Now somebody's obviously sneaked the phone in and recorded a bit of footage, and then they've gone onto Twitter or wherever they've gone, Instagram. I don't know where they've gone, but apparently it leaked on Twitter. That was quickly taken down by obviously the film studios.
Yeah.
But once someone's dropped it, you know what it's like. Once somebody's dropped it,
it goes like wildfire, don't it?
Yeah. Now, I mean, I've avoided it now because this is the thing about the Scream movies is like this would have a massive impact on the box office if people accidentally even if you're the biggest Scream fan, if you accidentally discovered who the killers or killer were before the movie dropped,
it's going to ruin the experience.
Where is your incentive? Really, where is your? There are very few films that rely on that surprise, that teasing who the killer is than Scream. And yeah, I mean, I personally, if I accidentally discovered who the killer was or killers, I wouldn't go to the cinema and watch it. I wouldn't, because it's ruined for me,
I would probably still go hoping it wasn't right. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they must film like alternative endings. Like they must have different endings.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I think maybe you're giving them too much credit there.
Maybe I am, mate. Yeah, but I'm sure I've heard it somewhere along the line that they've done that with the movies, the Scream movies, anyway. Not with the first one, probably not. But I'm sure I heard it with one of them that they did do like 2 or 3 alternative ones, so it could have been any. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they filmed it. Even the cast didn't have a clue how it was going to turn out at the end, who it was. Maybe I've just completely made that up. But I'm sure I've heard it somewhere, or it might have been with Scream. It could have been with something else. But you would think they would like kind of cover their backs a tiny bit, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe the leaks come from one that they're not going to use. I don't know. I don't know. But
Sean says he's seen the leaks.
yeah, don't tell us, Sean. Don't put it in the chat, mate, please. But yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what they are. I want to go into this blind. But I have a feeling who it is anyway. In my own mind, you know.
I've barely paid any attention to this film, so I'm none the wiser. I've watched one trailer, but I'll go and watch it as long as it doesn't get spoiled before. But because I'm a big Scream fan, you know, in terms of, I mean, I'll always go and watch the films at the cinema, but yeah, I've not really jumped into all the social media stuff because I think with Scream, it's probably best just to maybe stay away from it a little bit because, I mean, I'm not really down for this New York setting. To be fair, I don't really know. Me, it's not really my thing. I much prefer a smaller suburban setting for a slasher. I don't like urban slasher films. You know, big city. It just doesn't work for me at all.
I just think they're just trying to change it up a little bit, aren't they, and just set it somewhere different. But yeah, I'm the same as you, mate. I weren't hyped about the New York setting when it came out, like a lot of Scream fans were. It didn't bother me. I just thought about Jason Takes Manhattan straight away. Like that's one of the things that just came into my head. But at least it's set in New York.
Is it actually filmed? Is it actually filmed in New York though, or have they just used somewhere? Because it's so expensive to film in New York. I'm just wondering whether is it actually filmed in New York, or is it one of those where they've just filmed in like Canada and
yeah, that is a very, very good question.
You can't even film in Texas anymore.
Yeah,
because like Texas Chainsaw Massacre was filmed in fucking like
Romania.
Romania was it? And
no, it's probably Bulgaria or something.
Bulgaria. X was filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So, a lot of them go to Australia and New Zealand now, don't they?
Yeah, they do. It's obviously way cheaper.
Yeah, because I believe the Ash vs Evil Dead series was all filmed in New Zealand as well, because they use a lot of New Zealand actors. Yeah. You noticed, you know, that some of them used to be in Neighbours or Shortland Street. Do you remember that? And they and they were popping up in Ash vs Evil Dead, and I was like,
well, if you've seen X, the producer of the porn film,
right?
He was in Shortland Street.
Oh, there you go. Then.
Yeah, he's just like I recognise that guy. I was like, do a little bit of a Google search. Oh, he was like young, and this was like back in the 90s, and I'm like, he's like 40, like 45, 46 now. I was like, fucking hell, he was in Shortland Street, and now he's in a Hollywood movie. It's like, what the hell?
Nuts, mate, isn't it? Nuts.
The Scream 6 years on Mike and JT.
Definitely be JT. I wonder if JT's seen the leaks. Probably has, hasn't he?
He's not said anything.
No, but, I reckon he's going to plaster the leaks all over his channel.
That would be a good way to get some views, though. To be fair, you know, it's like
you'd get some
Scream
hate,
6 killers. Yeah, you would. You would definitely get some hate.
Yeah. But no, I've avoided them leaks, mate, and fingers crossed I continue to. But I've muted certain things on Twitter as well. I've pretty much muted Scream 6. I don't need to see any more of it. You know what I mean? So,
how do you mute? How do you can you mute cast
tags? You can just mute words. So you can just go into your settings and I've just like literally put in Scream 6 killer and all that kind of stuff. So nothing pops up on my timeline.
All right. Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't really. I use Twitter, but I don't know how it works. I just literally just.
Mate, I didn't. I had to have my mate to show me. He actually did it for me. So
yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks." I've got no clue with this technology, mate. I can barely get the camera up on this. Sometimes I struggle with that.
Yeah, I'm not great.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I wish I could do the whole like when it comes to like making videos, like just even a live stream, just like at the end have like a little notification bell with a clicking on the subscribe. Can't do that. I don't know. I can't do that. No idea.
I'm the same. Like, that's why my videos look so basic because I can't do anything, mate. Honestly, God. Like, even like trying to get the trailer up so you can see the trailer as well. I'm like, I don't know how to do that shit. So why? There's no point. I'm not going to bother.
My intro with the Real 5 Beatles, like Lorne did that for me. He went here. I've done something for you. I'll email it to you. I went, what? And then I opened it, was like, and then I played it, and then I was putting it on the video, but it was like, it was too fast, or I can't, it was too fast or too slow. And
Yeah.
I'll re-alter it, and then he did it again, and it was like, nice one. I was like, I would never do that. It's like, fucking hell, man.
God, no. I don't think I'll ever change mine, mate. I've got them there. There's no point changing them. I'll just keep the same thing.
Like the thumbnails, I'm not too bad at thumbnails with, like, because I just use Canva. I don't know if you're aware. It's like, it's, you know, it's just like this website. So I do. I mean, I've kind of gotten to. I don't know whether it works in terms of like, just as a brand, your channel as a brand. I've kind of gotten to the habit now of just pretty much having the same style of thumbnail for every video. It's just like 3 sort of panels with a different movie in each panel across the front with a bit of description, because I feel like, kind of like, if people are scrolling through subscriptions, if a lot of, like, you know, channels, they use something that's like, they've got their own, like, distinctive sort of design to them, you know, rather than just something completely random.
Yeah.
So I've tried to focus on that. Certainly with, like, some of these live streams, I mean, I don't think it's the thumbnail, more maybe the words in the title. I mean, that 80s stream we did with the 80s, you know, our favorite 80s horror movies, that video just, like, took off and done nearly 500 views. And the 90s one we did, that's like done 250. There's definitely a market for, like, you know, people just seem to like people discussing their favorite movies, you know, like whether it's a countdown or whatever. So obviously, me being a complete view whore was like, oh, get onto that. 90s, noughties next, then the 10s, and we'll go back to the 60s and 70s. But
oh Christ, 60s and 70s. I would be really having to do my own work on that one.
The noughties, you know, I was doing a bit of research for the noughties movies. In fact, like, that's next Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah,
right.
It is, mate. Yeah.
So there's a lot of good stuff in the noughties, man. A far stronger decade than the 90s. Controversial statements. I don't think it's controversial. I think the noughties was way better than the 90s.
Oh, I don't think that's controversial at all, mate. I think that's accurate, to be honest.
I just think as people get older, people, like, reminisce more about the past, and so they'll be more, like, defensive of the 90s because it's an older generation.
Yeah.
But I just think when you look at the strength of movies in the noughties, but there's a lot of good stuff in the noughties.
I've always said, like, each list has been difficult to do. But this is going to be the hardest one, because I love so many between, like, 2000, 2010. Like, there's so many good horror films that came out. So yeah, it's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, and hopefully JT will be on board for that one. I know Alexei's going to be on. That could be a mammoth video. That could be like 3.5 hours. It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be a big one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
The last one was nearly 3 hours with the 3 of us. So
yeah,
if there's 4 of us, that could be definitely be an epic. But
I'm definitely sticking Scream 4 in just to piss JT off.
Yeah, I think Scream 4's 2011, isn't it?
I thought it was
Scream 3. No, Scream 3 is 2000. You can put Scream 3 in.
Oh no, I can't.
Yeah, Scream 4's Scream 4's 2011.
I thought it was 2010. Oh well then it won't.
Well, 2010 won't count.
All right,
2009. So it's the first.
That changes my list then.
Sorry. I imagine you turning up with like 8 films from 2010. And it's like none of these films.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't have been 2010. Well, of course, yeah. Oh, it's all right. Don't listen to me, mate. It's okay. I've just had a blonde moment. Then am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I think JT's first 9 films is going to be Saw 1 to Saw 9.
Yeah, probably, mate. Yeah. I'm not going to say too much, but Saw is definitely an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spoil nothing.
No, because I like the first 3. I think if you took it as if it just stayed as a trilogy, it would have been a very strong trilogy.
Yeah.
It just went it went shite.
Yeah,
after the third one.
I didn't watch anything after 3, to be fair. I've not seen. I've seen nothing after 3.
Yeah, I watched the 4th one, and I didn't really think that much of it. Back then, I even thought, right, you just need to like just stop now. But the problem was, it just kept making more money every time it went along
Yeah.
until it died off. But I watched bits of 5, and it just that was it. I was done by then.
Sorry, my dog's just done.
That's all right. Mate.
Just give me 2 seconds. I'll just.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You're all right. Crack on. I'll keep everyone entertained, even though I can't see any comments. Hope you are all having a good night and enjoying the stream anyway, guys. So. I have no idea what to do here. There's normally someone else sat there that I can just bounce off with. This isn't awkward in the slightest. Do you know what? I might use this as a bathroom break. So I will be back in 1 minute. All right, guys, just stay there.
Where's Dave gone? I left him in charge of the audience, and he's disappeared. Oh, here he is.
All right, mate. I just used it as an excuse to go to the bathroom. It would have been handy if I could like grab people's comments and stuff, but I couldn't do anything. So I just decided to go. I'll see you in a bit.
Cliff in the chat. What's up, Cliff?
Yep, that's exactly what I went for.
So Dave doesn't have. Sean will not let this go about House on Haunted Hill. Sophie's off to bed. Night, Sophie.
It was a funny little clip, though. Gotta be honest with you, it was.
It was. One thing, I'm not going to stay around too long tonight because it is a school night.
Yeah.
You know, as in, I mean, I'm not in school, obviously, but I am at work tomorrow. But one thing I want to cover is like, I don't know if you follow Cody Leach on Twitter. Cody.
Yeah.
Do you follow him?
Yeah, I do,
Are you subscribed to Cody?
I think I am actually.
Yeah, I don't watch his stuff. Right, so
hang on, I'll check. I think I am.
But you obviously don't watch his stuff regularly if you're not.
No, I don't, mate. To be honest with you, no. But I do think I am subscribed to him. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was. I think a lot of people are. So basically, Cody's kind of like made it big. Basically, I was subscribed to Cody back when he was on about 1,500 subs, and this is like 2016, 2017. I was subscribed to Drum Dums as well. I don't know if you subscribed to Lee.
Yeah, I am, mate. Yeah, I think it's great. I watch his reviews more.
So they were both. I was subscribed to both these guys. So like early on in the career, they were around like 2,000 and 1,500 subs, and then their channels were just like popping, over like in the space of like 18 months, 2 years. Kind of like fell out of love with their channels a little bit because the bigger they got, the less. I was never interacting with them like in the comments or anything. I was just, I was never really that sort of thing, but I just kind of like fell out of love with their channels a little bit. And obviously they've got bigger and bigger and bigger. Cody's obviously, they had a lot of beef going back a
I
few
believe
years.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, because they were both on a Killer Flicks. Were you in the Killer Flicks Facebook page
No.
group?
Oh no, mate.
So
No.
they both ran that Facebook page. I think they I don't know if like one ran it or they both ran it, but they were both they he had like a good few thousand people on Facebook. I was one of them. I left in the end because I got sick of Facebook and I was just got tired of the constant just nonsense coming from fucking endless people,
Yeah.
especially on Killer Flicks. But something went down on Killer Flicks. Something went down between them two. I've kind of got a rough idea of what went down, but they end up going their separate ways. Big fucking controversy, but they just fucking hate each other now, basically.
Right. Okay.
But it was just kind of like the reason I wanted to talk about it was just kind of. I think it's interesting the way looking back at like people who were like YouTubers at like maybe still bigger than we are, obviously, but back in like back in the earliest days, were not that much bigger than some of these were guys who had a similar amount of subscribers to like Gareth,
Yeah.
and they've gone from like that to 50, in Cody's case 100,000 subs
Yeah.
in the space of like 4 or 5 years, and to go from that sort of like an anonymity almost to like becoming almost like the sort of person who gets. What I'm leading to with this is Cody basically got into. I don't know if I think he pissed somebody off on Twitter because with an opinion, and that person has decided to go through 13 years of tweets to find something about him that he said that was like offensive. Now, I don't particularly like Cody. I don't particularly like Cody. I think he's a bit of a jargon. I think he's become a bit. In my opinion, he's got a bit too big for his boots.
Mm.
He's a 100,000 subscriber YouTube channel. Thinks he's a 10 million subscriber YouTube channel. He's a big fish in a small pond in terms of the horror community. In the grand scheme of YouTube, he's fucking nobody. He's nothing. You know what I mean? I think he's elevated himself to something that he's not. And he does do a bit of virtue signaling on Twitter as well, which pisses me off. I can't fucking be dealing with that shit. Because when you virtue signal, people are always going to find something about you, dig into your past, and that's exactly what's happened to him. And yeah, someone's dug up some old tweets where he's dropping the N word, dropping the F word, and it's all perfectly fucking harmless. You know what I mean? I've got no issue with that, but it's just I find it interesting that the way the bigger YouTubers get embroiled in these sorts of situations where it's like,
what's the reason why this person has decided to do this? Like, if they just had what's the disagreement?
I don't know the full facts. This person, by the way, is a little fucking bitch because they are blocking anybody who questions anything about it. Because this person was blocking anybody who brought up the situation with Cody, and I just went on there. I just being just a fucking pain in the arse because I just like to wind people up sometimes.
And I've noticed.
I just went on there. They put a tweet out about Child's Play 3. I went, "Have you blocked anyone recently?" They immediately blocked me. So I was like, "Yeah, the person who was doing this is just a little fucking bitch."
I just don't understand.
Cody, to be fair, like I've like questioned some of Cody's takes in replies, and to be fair, he's not blocked me. I don't like the guy. I think the guy's full of shit, but he's not blocked me. Fair play. But
I don't. I'm not one way or the other with him, mate. I've got to be honest with you. But I don't get this other person. Like, why would you waste your time?
No.
Like, why? What? I don't get why people do this. Why? I just have your disagreement and move on with your life. It doesn't. I don't get it.
I don't know if this guy's got a YouTube channel. He's got a minor following on Twitter. This guy, I don't think he's got a YouTube channel, but I can only assume that he's probably taking shots at Cody because Cody's like, a bit of a name now,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. As soon as you become like a bit of a name
You're
on YouTube or
you're a
Twitter,
bigger target as well, then,
you're
aren't you?
going to be a bigger target. But you've got to just, the mistake that Cody made is he just fell hook, line, and sinker, and he highlighted this guy's tweet and then replied, just ignore it.
Yeah.
Just ignore it. You're giving the guy, his name's apparently the Disc Father was the guy on Twitter, but he fell right into this guy's lap because this guy wanted the reaction from Cody, and he got it, and he's taken attention over to the Disc Father, this guy, the Disc Father, and people have gone over to his Twitter page, and even if it's just to abuse the guy, he's getting the attention he wants. He's getting those dopamine hits. The guy's loving it. The guy's loving it.
Does
is
this
what he
guy
did.
have? Is he a YouTuber himself, or is he just
I
like?
don't
on
think
Twitter?
he's there's no link on his on his Twitter page. So I'm guessing he's just on Twitter. But Cody made the big mistake of just like falling for it, and then Cody's trying to like dig himself out of a hole, and he's almost like apologizing, saying it wasn't. It's like you never. First of all, you never ever apologize ever for anything you've done. In my opinion, you're just playing into the hands of these people. Don't apologize. Don't even acknowledge it. Just ignore it. But Cody's seems quite. I think he spends too much. I think the problem with being on Twitter, Twitter's poison. We all know that. We all know it. You've got more. I've got like 50 followers. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. You've got a fair, not in the grand scheme of things. It's there's not many people, but you've got over 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
The bigger you are on Twitter, the more shit you're going to take off people. And I think Cody's gotten to a position now where he's probably got enough people who not necessarily follow him, but if they are following him, they just hate following him.
Yeah.
So they're not following him because they like him. They're following him because they don't like the guy. Somebody like J.K. Rowling. How many of J.K. Rowling's followers are following her because they hate her?
Yeah.
It's like when Trump was president, or it's like how many people, or Joe Biden, or fucking Rishi Sunak. How many people are following these people on Twitter because they hate them, not because they love them, and they're just there to just insult them at every possibility.
Every minute of every day.
The bigger you get, the more hate you're going to get, and you've just got to accept it. You've got to deal with the hate. And if you can't accept it, man, you've just got the best thing to do is just get off Twitter. I think Cody just needs to get the fuck off Twitter and take a break and just focus on YouTube, because I do worry about some of these people who've got a bigger following. The mental health, man, is going to take a fucking hit.
Oh, you've got to do what we do, mate. Even just like where we are in our journey with this, you need thick skin.
Yeah,
you need it, man. And even with just like say 550 subs and just over 1,000 on Twitter now, it's a very small splash in a very big pond, But I get it. Even now, I get shitty comments. I get I get a few people being pricks to me, and I just don't even acknowledge it, mate. Some of them actually make me laugh. Some of them are actually quite funny.
You know what the best thing to do is love the comment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just don't reply. Just love the comment.
That's what I did on me.
That will drive them fucking mad.
There was an actor from Street Trash that left a really shitty comment under my review, and I just loved heart it.
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah.
They'll be like, did he not understand the insult, or why has he done that? And it'll just make them more and more mad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But
same on Twitter. Just like the comment, like the tweet, and just move on.
Yeah,
they drive them fucking insane,
mate. I don't even engage with them. I just don't. I really don't. Half the time, I don't even like. I just whatever. I just crack on with my day. You know what I mean? But what I thought you were going to say about Cody was not all that drama. He put his Winnie the Pooh review out, didn't he? And the production company that did the movie fucking tweeted them back, fucking saying this review was like it. He goes, I think he goes a little bit far in his review. To be honest with you, he's basically saying like the people that did this movie just put no effort in whatsoever. He was a bit much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the production company tweeted him back and just said he was a bit harsh, like they were trying to defend the people that made it and stuff, and that they put their heart and soul into it, which I believe that they did. But yeah, he was getting a lot of crap for that. I thought that's where you were going to go with that. I didn't realize he had all this
No,
other
I mean,
drama with something
I
else.
wasn't even aware. You know what? This could all be related to that, though. Maybe
Could
the
be.
person who brought this up is a big Winnie the
Pooh
Pooh fan. Maybe they've got some fetish for Winnie the Pooh. I don't know.
I don't know, mate, but yeah, he was taking a lot of crap, a lot, even to the point where I was seeing it on Twitter thinking, even with the production company, like, why tweet him back? It's his opinion. You don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But you don't have to tweet him back. Like, it's water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's that all, an opinion's an opinion. It's like, it's like when someone says they're offended by something, it's like, well, yeah, you're offended, but doesn't mean everyone else is.
Yeah, it doesn't make you
and
right.
It's like, yeah, and it's like, my opinion offends you about this movie. So fucking what?
So be it.
Deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not robots. We don't all have the same opinion. You know what I mean? So if you don't like it, fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
I can only assume that Cody didn't get the free copy delivered to his house.
No, I think he had to go and watch.
Yeah, maybe that's why I got the bad review.
Maybe, but go back and watch his review, mate. It is honestly like I've seen some negative reviews for this, but I think his one is he gets a little bit personal with it as well. I think like he really goes to town on it. Like he really hated this movie, and the more I'm listening to him with his review, the more I'm like, I think I'm going to love this.
Yeah.
I think I'm really going to enjoy it, and especially when JT messaged me and he said, Dave said, I think you're really going to like this. And I'm like, well, if you like it, there's a good chance I'll probably enjoy it as well, because we agree with quite a lot of things. Apart from Scream, me and JT are quite on the same wavelength when it comes to these kind of movies. So
well, Cody liked ends more than kills. So yeah, I can't be taking his opinion serious about anything after that.
Yeah, I really didn't agree with him on Halloween Ends whatsoever. Put it this way, I'd rather watch Skinamarink again than watch Halloween Ends. That's how much I hate Ends.
No, it's not that bad. I can't. Nothing will make me watch Skinamarink again. Oh my god!
If you had a choice, if you had a gun to your head, I would pick Skinamarink again.
To be fair, Skinamarink is good for insomnia. So
exactly, you'll put you to sleep. You'll be fine.
Chris's Halloween film since 3. I know he's lying.
Go to bed, mate. Just no, stop.
I know he's winding me up. But I think we'll have to wrap things up now because it is getting late for me, and I would usually have a longer stream than this, but yeah, I'm up early tomorrow. I think I've kind of covered. At least I've covered in what I put in the thumbnail. Sometimes I put stuff in the thumbnail and don't even discuss it.
Just go off script.
At least I have discussed Scream 6. Yeah. And I did want to talk about the Cody situation, so I have covered that. So I've covered what I wanted to cover, plus a few other things. So we're back. So I'm gonna be. You plug your channel first, and then I'll plug what I'm doing.
Oh, just guys, if you haven't already, you probably have, but if you haven't already and you're new to this channel, just head on over to Savage Zombie Reviews, and if you enjoy the content on there, just if you want to, just subscribe.
Yeah. So I'll maybe back on Friday. I've kind of penciled in this idea of talking about UFOs of JT and aliens, but
I've seen that's going to be interesting.
I don't know. I need to get some sort of I need to plan it, because at the minute I'm kind of all over the place of how I'm going to work, because I really want to do it, but I don't really know how I'm going to go about putting together an actual stream.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be interesting.
We'll see how that goes. It could end up being cancelled. I don't know. We'll see.
But then our Noughties top 10 it's next Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah,
But I
guys.
need to get cracking on that.
Yeah, next Sunday. You're not gonna want to miss this one. Next Sunday, it's gonna be about 11:30 UK time, 6:30 EST. Myself, Dave, Alexei, and JT.
The dream team.
Well, JT Touchwood, because it's always a bit. JT didn't turn up for Gareth's stream this morning, so.
Oh, you're kidding? Really? He did it again?
He didn't turn up. But,
that's twice he's done that now, isn't it?
So, hopefully JT's here next week. So
I love you, JT, man.
Love it. Yeah, we'll be counting down our top 10 favorite Noughties horror movies.
I'm really looking forward to that. I think there's going to be some very interesting picks in this one because there's a lot to choose from.
I think there's going to be totally different. It's not going to be like the last one where, there was a lot of similar choices. I think it's going to be totally
we just had them in different order. Yeah.
I think it's going to be totally random.
I do as well.
Anyway, thank you for everyone who jumped on board tonight. Dave, obviously a pleasure as always.
Oh, always a pleasure, mate. Enjoy doing these with you.
Guys, see you later. Good night.